Singularity by William Sleator, 14. For a very long time, perhaps, even an entire 100th of a second in the outside world, no one spoke. It was not simply the rows of teeth that made this reflection so stunningly repellent. It was the ferocity of the yawning, scissor-like maw. Even frozen in time, this thing hungered to take a bite out of something. It hung below us, the mouth open so wide that we could see nothing of the rest of it. The other objects we had previewed, though somewhat elongated, had proved on arrival to be just about the same size as their reflections, but they had appeared close to the surface when we had seen them. This thing was deeper, but was already bigger than any of the other objects. By the time it reached the surface, it looked as though it would be very large indeed. "Maybe it's distorted," Barry said at last without conviction. "Maybe we just think it looks like a creature, but it's really something else." It was a nice try, but it wasn't going to work. Even if it were a machine and not an animal, it was clearly designed to devour with prodigious efficiency. That's what mouths are for. Maybe it just looks nasty to us, Barry tried again. But everything could be different in another universe. Maybe this is what cute and cuddly looks like over there. We could see a little bit around the edge of the mouth, where the dark skin curled back around the fangs, caught in the middle of his snarl. "And maybe it isn't as big as it looks," Barry went on. "Maybe it's really no bigger than a good-sized rat." "It's far away, Barry," I pointed out. "It looks like it'll be bigger than we are." "Maybe just the mouth is big, but the rest of it is little," Barry babbled on. "Maybe it's something the size of a mouse with a crocodile-sized head." We looked at him. He shrugged. "Well, it was an idea." Violently, he slammed his fist onto the drain knob. The ravenous mouth swirled away down the pipe. "I think I have to go home now," Lucy said. He grabbed her by the elbow. "You better not tell anybody." "Barry," I said, "this monster is going to come through, and you don't want to get people out here to protect us." "We don't know it's a monster. We just have, what do they call it, circumstantial evidence, and we don't even know if it's going to be alive." "Well, I'm not planning to sit here and wait for it in order to find out," I said, backing toward the door. "That's your decision," Barry said coolly, "but you have no right to prevent me from staying if I want to." He was still holding onto Lucy's arm. She stood there limply, her lips pressed tightly together. "But Barry, it's just," I struggled to find the words. "Even if I would let you stay here and not call the cops and let you risk your life, which I wouldn't do, it still isn't just your life. If that thing got out, other people might get hurt. You can't do that." "Who's going to stop me?" "I will, and Lucy will." "Well, Lucy, I don't know what to do." She was clearly reluctant to side with me, the out-of-it cowardly one, but she was also scared. Look, Harry," he said. "We know other animals came through. We saw their skeletons and nobody got hurt. So why spoil everything just because another one is coming through? I think it's exciting." "Who says nobody got hurt? You're the one who said an alien could have already come through and killed Uncle Ambrose. It could still be around, and you want to let another one out? A big one? This thing could bite your head right off." "Well, it looks far enough away, so it won't come through for a couple of days," he said. "Why do anything right away?" "Sorry, I'm going to call the cops. We've probably already waited too long." I turned and marched for the door. "Harry," his voice was quiet but harsh. I stopped. "Harry, if you tell anybody, I promise you I will lock myself in here, and by the time you find anybody to break down the door and drag me out, if you can convince anybody to do that, I will be older than you, old enough so that we won't be twins anymore." I couldn't say anything. How stupid I had been to imagine he wouldn't have thought of it immediately. "Come on, Lucy, let's go down to the river and have a little talk. Harry needs to be by himself and think." We left the playhouse together. I didn't even turn to watch them walk away, but went straight back to the house. I knew Barry meant what he said. I couldn't think of any way to stop him. It would have been different if I could have gotten my hands on the playhouse keys and thrown them away for good. But since my fiasco down at the river yesterday, Barry was careful to keep the keys with him at all times. Even in bed at night, I felt totally helpless. There was nothing to do but wait and watch the creature grow. And that's the end of chapter 14.